friends, I have a lot to do today. I have to sow these seed potatoes into some pots and try to grow these daylilies. Last year's, for some reason, I don't know if I put the bulbs into the ground into the pots too late, but they didn't come up, and so far this year I haven't seen them pop up. And I believe these are pretty hardy and that they would come back year after year, so I'm not sure what the reason is. And then 7 plants of stargazers, so I love that. Then my husband had to get these. I'm kind of through with blackberries because they're so thorny and they just get out of hand. And we had them potted up and they came back, but they didn't have any fruit, or the fruit got eaten before we got to them. So, but he found these when I was shopping for these, and he said that he wanted to get them. $17.98 for 2 plants, and these are the thornless variety: Arapaho thornless and Ochita thornless. So we'll see how they go. The Ochita is a little smaller than the Arapaho. So we'll see. He already put them in some pots. So now I have to do my work of growing these things. And then we had some store-bought shallots that he never cooked up. So I'll just stick them in the ground. And then I have to sow a bunch of seeds just so that we could get lots of things now and kind of take up all the space so the weeds don't grow through too much, hopefully. But I want a lot of flowers throughout the season, so I'm going to just sow a bunch. And then in these bags I have some seeds that I kept from last year's flowers. So I have some zinnias, two kinds of zinnias, and then I have elsewhere I have the calendula seeds and the cosmo seeds. And I'm gonna do a butterfly sanctuary, so I'm gonna grow a bunch of milkweeds. The only variety I have are these yellow ones, just straight yellow ones, and the orange and red ones that I've grown here for many years. And last year I saw about 6 or 7 caterpillars on my milkweed. I just love that so much, so I'm gonna make them a little area and just feed them all the time and have a little area for them, so hopefully they return year after year. Here's my calendula. It's getting kind of leggy. I just let it drop its seeds and make new flowers, and I just leave it alone over here next to the coop, the chicken run, and I'm trying to get a bunch of flowers over here. So I'm going to clean up this area soon and surround them with flowers. Because last year I tried to grow some melons up the chicken run and things were eating them up, and that was quite disappointing. So over here I used to have a fire ring, but I tried to wrap it with some cardboard and trying to keep the bed the way it is, and it started falling apart, which I expected. So I have a bare spot here that I'm going to grow those shallots. So now I've got the shallots planted in there. Now let's move on to the next item. It looks like my gladiolas are popping up, because here's one. Here's another shoot. Well, 2 shoots out of numerous is not a good number, but it's better than nothing. Here's my other pot of gladiolas. Here's the shoot. Here's a baby shoot right there. I just recently pulled some weeds out of here, so we'll see how many pop up. But they were really pretty, a mix of colors. So now I have planted my stargazer lilies, my little missy lilies. I'm gonna water them in. So the stargazers are at the base of my apple tree, which is the 4-in-1 apple tree combination tree. Brayburn apple, Honeycrisp, Fuji, and Granny Smith. So, and then yesterday I put some Shasta daisies right here and some, I forgot, penstemon. So here I'm going to water these, give them a good drink. I was going to laminate the labels, but I might just come back and do that. Just take them and laminate them. Right now I'm too tired from planting these things. So I gotta water in the seed potatoes as well. Hi friends. So I was trying to work out here earlier today, but it got really hot. So I have this fencing. It's an enclosure to my garden, and I'm going to use it just like I did last year to grow some beans. I am growing pole beans. They're called Gita from Johnny Seeds, and I don't think I had a really good germination rate last year, but I could have killed them because I poured a really strong fertilizer on them, so that could be the problem. So we'll see this year. I soaked the beans overnight, and this area was full of weeds and stuff, and I just pulled it all aside. I have cardboard lining this path so that weeds don't grow. So I'm going to stick the seeds in. Let me show you the seeds. This is not really a good image of it because deep down in here is the beans, and they're dark and they're really tiny when they're dry, but as soon as you soak them they like almost double in size. So I'm going to kind of do two together because I heard someone say that it increases its chance of growing, or it increases its germination rate when you put 2 seeds to each hole that you plant the beans in. So we'll see if that is true this year. I'm going to do that. Now you can see the beans. They're pretty dark. They have little speckles on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 to a hole and then cover it up. So this is what they look like. They even have a little tiny bit of a white speck on it. So I guess it's not speckled. It's more like it's dark with a speckle in the center, in the belly of it. Hi friends, so I dug up a trench here along my enclosure for my potager garden, and I dug up this hole just where I planted my yard-long beans last year, and this year I'm growing pole Gita beans right here, and they're gonna just climb up this trellis here. And there's a lot of cardboard to keep weeds from growing, which it's been helping a lot, so I don't have to weed so much. So I gotta weed that area right there, and then I'll stick the seeds in. Let me show you the Gita beans. Here are the Gita beans. They're in a jar. So as soon as it hits the water, the color from the beans starts coming off. So it's like a brownish color. But the beans are in there, and I'll just plant them 2 by 2 because that's what I heard, that for some reason beans like to be planted, sowed, the seeds two together in a hole. So that's what I want to do, and then I'll cover them up. So friends, I have buried the seeds. I sowed the seeds, and now I am putting all these branches that are from pruning my trees, and I'm just kind of keeping it here so things don't dig it up. And over here have the cardboard to cardboard the path so things don't grow here. Just makes life a lot easier when I don't have to weed as much. I threw some spare brassica seeds that fell out of my envelope over here. I have no idea if they're collards or some kind of broccoli, but it's wonderful because now it's starting to sow itself. So that way I could just pluck some branches from this area. I could pluck some branches from this area and give it to my chickens. Over here I am soaking some okra seeds, and I'm gonna stick them somewhere. Ooh, they already opened up a little bit. If you could see, there's a crack in some of the shell of the okra seed. Hi friends, so this is my bed of leeks, and I grew it last spring, and it takes forever to grow because they look like little tiny shards of grass, the way that they grow. And then I didn't think it would grow because it took months and months and I didn't see anything, and now look at how tall they are. They're up to my waist and they're filling in. I do have a couple weeds in here, but that's okay. But in here there are still some more leeks trying to grow up and out. And I think I have Claytonia or something growing in there. I'm not really sure. I gotta check out my old video to see if I did sow those seeds in there. But let me pull out these weeds, give more nutrients to my plants. And Claytonia is edible, even though it's kind of invasive, if it is Claytonia. I gotta take out my plant identifier app. My plant identifier app is called Picture This. So you take a picture of the plant and it'll tell you what it likely is, and it gives you pictures of comparison plants that look similar. So the stalks of these leeks are getting pretty big, and it's probably time to harvest, and I can harvest them and make room for the other ones to grow. So I might just do that. I love it. It's giving me so much food, and it's a mild allium with a mild onion taste. So if you don't like the strong onion taste, this is the one for you, allium wise. And you could put it in congee, porridge, stew, soups, and it's so mild you can put it in other dishes. Currently I've just been going around weeding certain beds, trying to direct sow seeds in the beds. So there should be something growing here, and if it doesn't grow, I put some pelleted Robinson's mixed chrysanthemum in here, but they were pelleted seeds from 2022, and it's now 2024. So if it doesn't grow, I'm not too sad, but at least I tried, and I'll just wait patiently, see if they pop up. But meanwhile, my poppies grew here last year. They self-seeded, and I also threw some extra seeds in here in case they don't self-seed. And here's a poppy. I should pull it out. I planted some snap peas in here and some there around the periphery of this, what used to be my bulbs bed, my flowering bulbs. And I believe this is bachelor's button that self-seeded itself. And then I have this cute little daisy with pink edges and white and yellow center. Really, really cute. There's my original bulb that came back up, a hyacinth, I believe. And that's going to be a carnation right there. That's going to be a carnation right there. Some poppies. Another pink bulb over there. And then I have a white bulbing plant right here. Really pretty. I have a celery in a pot. I need to transplant it to the ground so it'll have room to grow nice and thick stalks. My society garlic's been in the ground for 3 years, and it's just huge. It's like 5, 6, 7 times, probably 7 times the size it was when I got it. in a 6-inch pot. So I could divide it out. It has a smell that a lot of animals don't like. It smells really strongly of garlic onion scent. And over here I have tons and tons of wild bergamot, and that's what bees love, bee balm. So they have purple flowers and they're gonna come up quite a few. I think I'm gonna dig some out and put them in a pot so I can send it over to my sister who raises bees. I was recently at Home Depot, if you saw my last Home Depot video, and I purchased a couple bare root fruit trees. Those are the best things to buy. They raised the price a little bit. It's $31.98 each, but that's okay. It used to be, I got it at clearance, my Bartlett pear for like 11 something. So it's gone up like triple in price, but that's okay. So I got myself a ultra dwarf 20th century Asian pear. It will grow 5 to 8 feet tall, and you can eat the fruit fresh or in fruit salad, or you can cook it. Self-fertile, but better with Bartlett, which is kind of a little down the way, but that's okay. I've got lots of fruit trees. Oh, actually it's not too far from this Asian fruit tree that I planted last year in the ground. This is my semi-dwarf Chojuro Asian pear. So they're going to be neighbors and they'll cross-pollinate one another. Let me loosen the grip on this this thing. Hold on one second. So next to the Chojuro, which I got for $27.98 last year, so that went up $10 from well, not $10, 27 to 31, I believe. Yeah, so a few dollars. But like I said, the Bartlett pear I bought a few years ago, I don't know if it was on clearance, and that was why it was $11.98, but it was a bare root fruit tree, $11.98. Then the Chojuro, and then now this 20th century pear, which I've seen before, but I never looked it up, and when I looked it up they said it was a really good pear. And then I also got this one, which is a ultra dwarf kefir pear, 5 to 8 feet tall, best for cooking and canning, and so not really good for eating raw, but maybe I'll try to make some pies or some other applications with it. I do love, my husband likes to make like bread puddings and other things, but even if not, look, it has beautiful blossoms. But yeah, it's still edible. It's an edible fruit tree, so I like that a lot. At the base of my apple tree, I sowed some seeds for some Shasta daisy and some other flower. And it's a 5-in-1 apple tree, so it's going to have flowers right below it, and it's gilled. And then I planted some lilies right here, and I made a circular border for it. Things don't like to cross paths or cross barriers, so I kind of mound up a lot of things, branches and things, to make a little border. It also helps me to delineate where not to step. So today I transplanted my Gerbera daisies, they don't look too hot, into the ground, and I have a couple lilies already starting to green up and grow. And over there, under my apricot tree, I also sowed some perennial flowers. And this salvia blew better. I grew from last year from seed, and it came back up. I'm so happy about that. And my yarrow, and over here my Shasta daisy. So I'm super excited because they're perennials. They'll come back year after year. And so that's several guilds I have, just circular plantings of trees, and below it flowers, preferably perennial flowers or bulbs or stuff that can reseed and are easy to take care of, so I don't have to plant them year after year. So I put new borders around my chicken coop entry so that things don't dig in these little holes that I have here. Also, the chickens like to burrow at the edges at the periphery of the chicken run, so they enable things to go in and interrupt their cycle and eat their food and water. So I don't like that, so I like to reinforce it with things. And over here I was trying to grow some brassicas and such, and it's a little bit complicated because last year I grew corn here, so this is what I call corn row, and before that it was borage way. So it was hard to grow for some reason because the soil seems kind of sandy and kind of a little bit loamy, but for some reason it just didn't grow well here. So I just have to pull out some of these weeds, or I may not care, but I have to pull out that lavender and possibly a rosemary if it's not dead. I'm going to leave the loquat tree there, and then my husband's going to extend the chicken run so that it's going to take up this entire space to the wall as well. So that way the chickens will have a lot more space. We're going to have more poultry to add to the group so that we can have more eggs. So right now we only have 3, and it seems like only 1 is laying. So we'll see about that. The Easter egger is really old, so I'm not surprised if she's not laying. So I am sowing a variety of tomato seeds, largely the ones that I sowed last year, because they're my oldest seeds from M.I. Gardener. And they're white Lisbon bunching onions in here to add to, but the purple tomatillo I bought the seeds from this year from Lowe's, Fairy Morse, Johnny's, Rosa, Bianca, Italian eggplants. So basically I'm trying to grow several different things, but mostly these right here are going to be tomatoes. So what is this? Mortgage Lifter, that's a new one. And Garden Leader Monster. Tiffin Mennonite. So some of these, it looks like the newer seeds are actually growing. So that's Brandywine. So look, all the newer ones are sowing or growing, and the old ones are not. So maybe that's my limit this year. I don't know. Maybe the seeds are less viable, so fewer chance of growth. If not, I'll stick more of those same seeds in there and try to get more out of it. This one only has 1, but they're newly sowed, so if they didn't come up, it makes sense. This is the Indigo Rose Pole Cherry I got from Botanical Interest. Yeah, it looks like the M.I. Gardener ones didn't grow yet. We'll see. So I recently watched a video where someone was saying that they order many seeds and that in 2023 they sowed lots of the seeds of change seeds of various plants. So she showed like basil and radishes and various different plants, not just one plant, that she said she bought from one of the stores, and nothing came up in all the different seeds. And she said she didn't know if it was because of that year's seeds or if it was because of the people who sold the seeds that year. Or if it is the seed company itself. So myself, I have purchased these seeds and I kept them for a long time because they're packaged very well in these waterproof and then resealable envelopes, and I love it, and I love the pictures, and it says organic and non-GMO, all kinds of stuff. USDA organic. So I kept these seeds. So unfortunately, like 5 of these packs are from 2016, and then a couple are from 2018, and then a couple are from 2022. So because she stated that she had problems germinating them and growing food from them, I've decided I'm going to do an experiment. And so I took this, what was a salad, a vegetable dip. Variety of vegetables were in here, and then there was a dip in the center. I'm going to use this container to direct sow seeds in them. I already cut, using my box knife, cut little slits in here, so the water is definitely going to come out. It's not going to pool in there. And I'm going to sow all these seeds. Hopefully I have enough space for all the seeds, and I'm going to see if they come up. And it's going to be a good experiment because I'll have things from 2016 to as recent as 2022. So if the 2016 ones don't come up, then it's okay if the 2022 ones come up, because they're newer seeds. Either way, I don't have anything to lose. I just have things to gain in the way of plants. And then I'll know whether or not these are really bad seeds. And then I went to the website, and it was really hard. You can't order seeds from the website. It's owned by a parent company that makes chocolate candies. So it looks like the parent company that bought this company from a couple individuals that founded this company. It seems like they may have stopped growing crops in this particular sustainable farm or something. So I don't know if they no longer provide seeds, because they don't sell seeds online, and it looks like they only sell seeds to big box stores, who then sell it to individuals. So it's kind of strange to me. And then when you click on like the seeds or the plants and stuff, it doesn't really show you anything. It just kind of is a moot website, outdated website, whatever you call it, inactive, it seems. So anyhow, let's see what's going to happen. So today is February 21st, so we'll see if these plants grow, and I will keep you updated. Okay friends, so I am upcycling or reusing things in this video. So like I said, it's a pretty useful video, I think, because I'm going to be doing that experiment to see if these seeds are any good. So as you can see, those are slow bolt cilantro, and that slow bolt cilantro from Seeds of Change is organic from 2016. So I sowed a lot, and because I had so many seeds, too many, I threw some in the ground next to the base of my fruit tree, and that way it has shade because it likes coolness. So that's where I put it. And then if it comes up, it comes up. If not, it won't, and I'll know. And then here I have Seeds of Change basil, Genovese. I just dumped them all in here. They're so small and dark, you won't be able to see them, I don't think, but they're in there. And I tried to space them the best I can. I had a lot of Howden pumpkin. So the Genovese basil is from 2016. And then these Howden pumpkins are from 2016 as well. And because they're bigger seeds, I put 6 in there, and then over here I put 6, and then in the middle I sowed the jalapeno pepper. This one is not as old. It's from 2021. So we'll see if that grows. That's a difference of 3 years. And then because these are newer, I'm going to try to sow them in different locations, but I did grow them in this area here. So I have the sage from Seeds of Change, and they're from 2022. And the thing I noticed only after I was doing this is that they changed the resealable Ziploc type opening to just a tear off, and you can't reseal them. So that's kind of annoying because they'll spill out easily, especially since this isn't a paper envelope. And then over here I sewed the bok choy from Seeds of Change, and it expired in 2022, and that's a difference of, you could say, 2 years, or you know, less than that. I'm gonna kind of put some more soil on top and put this in a dapple shade area and see how well they grow, and I'll keep you updated. I do have this right here. So I didn't sow all of the bok choy and the sage, as it is the two newer packets. So we'll see if these pop up or not, and then I'll try to sow them elsewhere to give them another chance to grow if they don't grow. And then I have this 6 foot tall Tiger's Eye Mix sunflower. Look at how pretty they are. I was being too frugal to grow them, and I didn't grow them that year in 2021. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow these in the ground, because I've tried transplanting sunflowers before and they didn't do too hot being transplanted. So I'm going to put them, especially since it's going to be 6 feet tall, I want them to grow to their maximum height and give them a chance. So I'm going to grow them at the periphery of one of my garden beds. I will show you. Sorry for all the noise, but here are all the seeds covered up and watered, and let's go check out where the sunflowers are going. So since these are not gonna break down, I put the label, the envelope right here to show that I'm growing it right here all around the periphery of this bed here, which has some mums, some baby little dianthus, and some other perennials, and I'm just hoping to fill this out with pretty flowers here. Next, I'm going to sow some herbs, as I have here. I sowed, not knowing about the other video, I sowed the Seeds of Change Genovese basil in here as well, in 3 slots. Some M.I. Gardner Mammoth Dill, Long Island Mammoth, and then some common thyme. So we'll see if they pop up, especially that one. And it's in a different location than the other. And then I'm going to sow some seeds over here for more herbs, and I will show you in a minute. So as I told you, this side has the common thyme, the Long Island dill, and the Genovese basil from Seeds of Change. Now this is M.I. Gardner cumin, burpee basil summer long, and oregano, Greek oregano. So we'll have different herbs, and the only one that Seeds of Change is the Genovese basil, as this is M.I. Gardner Mammoth Dill, Long Island, and Fairy Morse common thyme. So let me just cover up the seeds and then water it in. These are the seeds I just sowed, and the other ones I sowed like 3 days ago before the rain. So the M.I. Gardner seeds were from 2018, and the burpee seeds, which are the summer long basil and the Greek oregano, are from 2019. So we'll see if these fare equally or better or the same as the Seeds of Change.